If you like the idea of toy haulers, but you don't have a giant side-by-side and need a big mega garage, you might want to stick around. This one may be a good fit for you. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV, breaking away from my Coldwater, Michigan hometown store to get you a first look at a new floor plan here from Grand Design's Momentum series. It's got about an 11-foot garage, which is small in the world of toy hauler garages nowadays. But like we said when the video began, not everybody has a giant 4-seat side-by-side RZR or something like that that they need to haul around. Some people have just a golf cart or a motorcycle, or some people don't have any sort of motorized toy. They have things like kayaks or e-bikes, or some people are just looking for a place to have a dedicated laundry room or office or even exercise yoga studio room or anything like that. I've met plenty of people who are on the pet show circuit who will use an RV like this and turn the garage into something like a prep point for their primped pooches. I wish I could have thought of that on the fly. That actually rolled out pretty good. But we've got all those big Momentum features here. Like they made no sacrifices in the living area. You've got a fully fleshed out, separated kitchen and living space. A cool little variation of a dinesque over on the campsite. So your dining and or desk overlooks some really significant window coverage. You've got a kind of wraparound sofa that's actually going to be improving in the near future. I'm excited to talk about that with you. Triple air conditioner system, all three of which can run at the same time. So if you're in that crazy Texas, Arizona heat, you can actually stay comfortable in one of these. And a generator on the RV actually capable of running everything in the RV when you need it. We've got a king bed up front, washer dryer hookups in the back in the garage area, a loft dedicated in the garage space too, so you don't have that weird thing where someone's laying on the loft like a Nerf battle den shooting arrows at you or something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of really cool, really fun qualities on this one. I'm really excited to see what you think about it, but it's also got a couple things I personally am not a super fan of, and I want to share both sides of that equation to give you a fair and candid look at this. Because, potentially there's a lot of money on the line. And if you like how we respect that you work so hard for the money, so hard for it, honey, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Now, as we get started here, I need some help from you folks in the form of feedback. When we're looking at a toy hauler with separate living and garage and everything, when it's not one big open room, do you want to see the living quarters first? Do you want to see the garage first? Or does it not even matter because I chapter mark the videos and you're going to get to it eventually anyway? I always try to make my videos the videos that you want to watch. So leave me some notes. Let me know which way you'd rather go with, and we're going to get started. Now, one of the first things I want to hit on here is the air conditioning system. This is a standard triple air. And basically all the air conditioners are all tied together to really get maximum cooling and airflow through the entire RV. Those are Coleman Mach units, which are a little bit quieter, which is really nice. You do technically have a third AC delete, but I don't think you're going to run into a lot of people who are going to delete an air conditioner as an option. But it is technically there for the folks that for one reason or another just don't like it. Now, these little accent lights you're looking at, they're actually RGB lights. So if you don't know what that means, you can change their color. This RV has a little, touch screen smart command system where you can change that kind of stuff around. And, if you want red lights or something like that, maybe your name's Roxanne and you're turning on the red light. Actually, now that I say that and I think about what that means, that's probably not HR approved, but that's not, it was just a musical reference. Don't cancel me. You get the idea. You can turn them. Now, the setting that we have them on right now is what the RGB panel considers white. I think it still has a little bit of a blue tinge, but I don't necessarily hate it. I will say, this is new flooring, new wallboard, new ceiling panel, new cabinet decor, and it is very neutral middle ground. But I kind of like it. I think it's open, light, airy. The fit and finish is on frickin' point. It looks very, very solid. And this is the kind of decor where if you want to change up some colors by throwing in a couple blankets or pillows or something, you totally can. They do a good job in this also of giving you some really good window coverage wherever possible. And I want to mention the sofa that you're looking at here is not the sofa that's probably going to be in it by the time it goes into production, or shortly after production, it's going to change. It's going to be about the same size, but it's going to actually shrink back and be a little closer to the kitchen countertop, which will open up a little bit of legroom over here, and that's going to become a recliner, which currently is not. So you're going to get more recliner function on this than you even currently have, which is kind of nice. You do have solid surface kitchen counters all the way through. This big chunk of counter space we're looking at behind the sofa, again, the giant gap between the sofa and the counter, that will go away. It'll be a lot tighter there. But that chunk of countertop is actually fixed. You see how there's the level change right over there? That actually that sleeves over the fixed countertop, because that it's a kitchen sofa combo slide, and it will all kind of hook and marry together. Now, one of the things I'm curious about, where do we have power outlets? If I'm being picky, I feel like I want a light under that overhead cabinet. Although I was about to say I want a power outlet also, but I noticed down in that corner you have some outlets over there. I believe under the cabinets over the sink we have some outlets. I'm not sure I can get you a good look at them from here. I'll try to get a little bit closer, because they actually ran that trim down to really create a nicely lit little hutch. And yes, indeedy doodly, as Ned Flanders would say, we've got household and USB plugs on both sides of that. Now, I think at this point, folks are becoming more familiar. Pardon my very ripe banana. I am happy to see you, but that did happen to be a banana, just for what it's worth. I like bananas very, very ripe. I like the sweetness. I like when that starchiness is out of them. Some people like green bananas. I don't know. What's your favorite banana? But anyway, you get the idea. You got the cutting board. You've got the little cup sprayer, which during show season is awesome, because the unattended children love to push on that little Captain Pirate wheel thing and spray antifreeze all over the place. And I mean, we're in the RV industry. We love that. He said with great sarcasm. Looking way up top here, I'm going to slowly get you all the way up here. We do have a one of those rain sensing max air vent fans as well, to really help exhaust a lot of that extra hot air, or just force a breeze through those big windows. Because if you're stuck inside on a rainy day, you're going to want that. Now, that is a big Norcold 12-volt fridge right there. But what's cool is it's got that almost like home-style lower freezer drawer, which has become very, very trendy. And we're going to come back to opening all this up. Note the location of the handle on that big pantry. It's like a pull-open pantry. I really, really, really like those things. Your campsite window coverage, I'm not sure if they could have gone a little taller on the windows, or if there's something preventing them from doing that. I would have loved to have seen a little bit bigger window coverage over here in the campsite, although I want to give them some major credit points. These are laminated slide boxes, and installing power outlets in slide walls that are laminated like that is not easy. So a lot of manufacturers just won't do it. And they're actually putting in the time and effort to make that happen here. And we're going to see in a few minutes, this table can extend actually quite a bit. The table can basically all but kiss up against this sofa right here, which, can make passing through it a little bit of a trick. So you kind of open it when you need to. And there are 4 chairs for that table. There's 2 that are kind of always out, and then there's 2 more that'll fold up under the front bed. We'll see those in a few minutes. One of the other really cool things here is your viewing of the entertainment center. They did not mount that TV up super duper high. So when you're sitting over here, that's like Boardwalk and Park Place Maxell tapes viewing, where the butler brings you your favorite variety of music or whatever, and then what is it? Not the William Tell Overture. What is the song that plays on the Maxell tapes commercial? That dun 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 dun, and it like blows the dude away. Again, I'm way off topic. My apologies. Let's get over here and look at this. So pardon I'm obviously using this as a little bit of a laptop station with my visitor badge here today, but really demonstrating the fact that if you need to go desk mode on that thing, you absolutely can. But again, if you want to extend that table and create some space, you have plenty of opportunity to do it. There is room for potentially 4 chairs there, and you've got 8 drawers around that thing. I don't want to say it's too much drawer storage, but it's a lot of drawer storage. And hey, I don't know, if you are going to be using it for, I don't know, whether it's going to be office purposes or just general craft purposes, I could see that being handy. I love pantries that open up toward you like that. One of the only things this kitchen doesn't do is it doesn't have any sort of a allowance for a dishwasher. That is a feature that Momentum does try to look for, but on this layout, they just kind of simply lacked the room to do it. And it's one of those things that they just weren't able to fit into this specific floor plan right here. But generally, that is something that they try to do. Now, again, the sofa that we're looking at today is going to change to like a multi-recliner, so I'm actually not going to pour a ton of time into talking about the sofa. I think you understand a sofa and a recliner, though. And as I get an opportunity to revisit this RV later on when it has updated furniture, I'll try to do that, and then we'll get you a little more in-depth look there. By the way, they're very good about using like smart TVs on this, so you know, a lot of people get Momentums and do a lot of like long-term extended camping, and you want to do things like, you know, watch your Netflix and Hulu and everything else. You can do that there. You also want to keep the RV clean, which is a hard segue. But it's made very easy because they don't do floor vents, they don't do carpet, and they have, I like to call it the electric dustpan, that little black rectangle down by the floor. You literally flick it up with your toes and just all the stuff sucks right into there. The location of that, your fuse boxes, converter panels is also really smart. It's right by the door, it's out of the way, but it's easily accessed in the unfortunate situation that you do need to access anything up there. This is a dual entry bathroom. I heard it today referred to as a Jack and Jill bathroom. I've never heard that before, but I guess it kind of makes sense. It is something that they are aware people don't necessarily like, but they have to make some major engineering changes before they can move away from it, and some of those things just aren't in place yet. So I have no time frame on this. It could be 2 or 3 years from now. It could be 6 months from now. Whenever they get a couple things lined up, they're going to kind of change things around. Now, this is a king bedroom, but they leave plenty of floor space here, which I really appreciate because it actually gives you room to get dressed. And the reason they're able to accomplish that is because they utilize every inch they possibly can of that nose cap. Notice how the bed is actually up in the curvature of the nose cap. They really, really maximize that space. The trick is, this RV has a really aggressive deep closet slide, which means it is a very asymmetrical bedroom. I don't know if I even want to call that a walk-around bed right there, because it obviously comes right up against the wall, but it is what it is. Now, if you want a little more walk-around space, what you can do is swap from the king to a queen, and you'll gain just shy of a foot of extra space to walk around the bed there. So if you don't mind a north-south queen, this would be a perfect floor plan for you, and it eliminates a lot of the walk-around challenge. Now, of course, the storage under the bed, very easy to reach, very easy to access, no challenges there. The storage above the bed, I also love how their overhead cabinets, they're all like self-strutted and self-supporting, so they're very easy to manipulate. You don't have to like wrestle with anything. And again, it doesn't have a full front closet, but it has a huge closet and dresser setup in the slide out. So you really still have some excellent long-term extended stay storage over here. And if I don't show them, everyone assumes it doesn't have it, but it does have TV hookups on the wall. The thing I want to caution on here, ooh, a nice little reflection of me over there. Notice how much wall space or how little wall space is between the wall and the slide fascia. You either want a really flat, small TV right there, or you want to have a TV mounted that you can take down when you need to. In case you're curious, that is called a thermistor. It's a temperature sensor. And we do just have a simple bedroom flick the light switch over here. Porcelain foot flush stool. Not only is there plenty of room around that, but you see that the shower also has one of those handy, like, 300-pound rated fold-down seats, which is really cool. Did you notice, though, the storage above the entertainment center, how when I opened the overhead doors, only like half of it was storage, only the bottom half? That's because they repurposed some of that up here in the bathroom. So you have some dedicated linen space built over there on the right-hand side. That's occupying the overhead cabinet space that was kind of in the living room area there. Now, what's kind of nice about that is it puts it where it's more easily reached, so you don't have to go climbing up your entertainment center to reach it. Your shower is super tall. That I really appreciate. They have some excellent headroom. Like, I'm a little over 6 foot wearing shoes in this footage, by the way. And I thought it was my phone ringing. Turns out it was just the shower. One piece molded shower fiberglass enclosure, by the way, so you don't got to worry about any sort of seams. Sometimes people they feel funny about seams and those kind of things. So moving back here, you see we also have that pass-through door to the garage area. Let me I was trying to debate if I wanted to do a cut to video David Blaine teleport or just walk out here. So I think I'm just going to walk out here. I've got it in kind of daytime setup mode, but you know, naturally you can also get all this stuff out of the Oops, I bumped the power button there. Sorry about that. It's a Happy Jack power bed lift system. You want to get all that stuff up out of the way. It's obviously very simple and easy to do. We'll give you, let me get outside and turn around. We'll take a look at the garage. One of the cool things with the Mr. Mo's, the Momentums, is it they include these extra little like zero gravity chairs, and they are very comfortable. I really like these things. There's very few things I like more than you know, getting up at the or sitting down rather at the end of the day and kicking my feet up. Now you may have noticed as we step through, this does have those like handy 3 seasons doors, and Momentum was one of the first brands to use a more weather resistant ramp door. Now here's the thing: a lot of people, well, what if it's raining? Do I have to put stuff away? Technically, not really, but man, there's just, with all the money that I would have wrapped up into something like this, if I knew a decent rain was coming, not like a light drizzle, but if I knew a good rain was coming, I would absolutely close up my ramp and all that. It doesn't take that long, and it just feels like the penalty for failure, like that juice is not worth the squeeze. I would rather make sure I absolutely keep water out of this thing. Now, that's one of those extra chairs for the dining. I just had it in the garage to get it out of the way, but it does kind of give you a sense of scope and scale in here. You see your washer-dryer hookups over there. One of the other things with this RV is that it does have an optional, like, folding kind of half bath closet over here. Some people like it, some people don't, but you do technically have the ability to build this one with a half bath in the back. So I guess let me ask you, would you like this one to be a bath and a half, or do you like it just as it sits right here? Let me know. Got the little dog dish flipper downer thing over there in the corner. And they went to, it's still like a rubberized kind of garage flooring, but they went to a lighter gray. I think it just helps make the whole area look and feel a little bit nicer. Now, a cool thing with Momentum's floor, most toy hauler garages do not have subfloor construction. So most toy hauler garages, they might be insulated, but they're not heated. This is both. Because it does have a subfloor construction where they actually can pump hot air, they do. And where you see a little bit of a riser right there, there's a couple holes in that. That's actually where some of that forced air heating then also bleeds out into the garage space. Because it's such a small space, they can basically double dip the function of that. So you essentially have a heated floor and forced air heating in the garage, 1-2 wombo combo, which I think is kind of cool. And of course, that Happy Jack system can turn into a couple beds. And that's an interesting thing with this floor plan. It allows this model, like you could use this rear room like an office, obviously a garage, a craft room, a weightlifting room, you know, for like Tommy Boy. It could be a bunkhouse, but it could be any of those things on any given trip. You don't have to choose, you get to use it the way that you want it. So it makes this a very flex function RV. Now you see that table right there, it actually does also include a table that you can use down here between the Happy Jack benches. So if the dining space inside feels a little too claustrophobic and cluttered for you, you can always go dining out here. It's just sort of a matter of whatever works best for you. But you may have noticed there's also a loft space up there. But how are you supposed to get to the thing? Well, you may have noticed sitting over on that wall next to the washer-dryer hookups was a collapsible ladder. Instead of one of the big, long, fixed folding type ladders, or well, not folding, but fixed ladders that they've used in the past, they decided to go with a telescopic here because it's lighter weight. And frankly, they hold more weight. They're rated to hold more weight. Now, those upper loft areas, they have a mattress in them. We call them a loft bunk. My experience has been more people use them as attic storage space. And do you prefer it being open over here in the garage or open into the living area. This seems to be the newer way of going it. I personally prefer it like this, but I know some people do prefer that this, the loft space opened into the living room. Or do you think it should have a little bit of a pass-through? I don't know. Speaking of, well, I'll pass through in just a second. I saw something else. In case you're wondering why there's a backup camera prep in here, you can mount a camera in this room so that you can keep an eye on your toys. Like if you hit a really bad bump going down the road, you can make sure you can see what's going back here. Or if you're up in the bedroom and you're trying to figure out what the heck the kids are doing making all that noise, you can literally flick on your camera and check back there and spy on them. Kind of like, you know that really cool decorative clock hanging in that Airbnb? It's a camera. Guarantee you, it's a camera. I would hang a towel over it. That's just me. But, unless you're into that, and that might be your thing. Now, again, this sofa is going to change, but if you do happen to have one of these currently, you see that small, slimmer section? Well, it actually detaches. The sofa section against the wall doesn't move, but these other two can detach. And when you close the slide, you need to get this little chunk out of the way a little bit. And in case you're curious, they actually, like, this piece brackets onto that. And then this piece brackets onto that. And if my chicken arms can do it, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee yours can too. But the thing is, nothing says you have to even use it. Because if you just want more of like an L lounger kind of situation, but you still want room to be able to walk through the RV when that table's extended, you can do that too. The thing is, you just got to remember, currently anyway, to close the slide, you got to get that little section out of there. Because when you close it up, it's going to come right up next to that table right there. So unless you're going to jump over the countertop and stuff to get to the kitchen, basically the kitchen's lost in road mode. But this RV, I think, you don't have to argue too hard to realize it's definitely made to be used at a destination and less functional on the way to getting there. However, bedroom and bathroom nap and crap access is actually pretty fantastic because the bathroom's right over here, the hallway's right off the entry door, and with this being a north-south bed, there's absolutely no question of, is it okay to lay in it when the slide's closed, because the bed is not in the slide. Haha. Now, the thing with almost any fifth wheel, especially a fifth wheel toy hauler, is half tons need not apply. We are in big truck country here. Even your heavy duty 3/4, I'm not even sure I'd recommend something like that for this. We're 1 ton and above when you're at a Momentum here. I think most people would generally agree with that, but if you've had experience to the otherwise, I would love it if you chimed in the comment section and kind of shared with everybody, how you've done with something this size. Moving on from there, though, we are wide body. We are 6-point hydraulic auto leveling, which you really want to be able to handle the weight of this RV and keep it secured effectively. You can see that it's got good window coverage. You can see there's a ladder on the side. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Let's talk about things that maybe aren't as obvious. Your slide here, that is a rack and pinion. You may have noticed how the bedroom slide was a Schwintek. We do have a single point. No, it is not. It was hiding behind that leveling leg. This is a 2-headed sewer monster. So that looks like your bathroom black and gray in the front and your probably kitchen gray tank in the back. Momentums are really known for having some pretty excellent holding capacities as well. And I love that undermount lighting, so that if you are trying to hook up stuff at night, you can actually see what you're doing. The location of their auto leveling controller mounted on the baggage door also makes it pretty easy to access. And if you are standing here using it, you can still line of sight your hitch pin without actually being under the gooseneck of the RV, which feels like a safety factor to me. If you got a truck backing up, I don't want to be pinched in there. Pretty straightforward Nautilus style docking center. A lot of fifth wheel toy haulers kind of struggle from this, where they don't have the world's biggest front pass-through compartment, but I don't really mind because you've got that whole garage space as well. Now, this black circle with the white circle on it, that is the relay for your Dexter Tow Assist package, which is both electric anti-sway as well as anti-lock braking. It is an awesome safety package on here that they have standardized. Actually, Grand Design fifth wheels were the very first in the entirety of the marketplace to standardize anti-lock braking. And it's baffling to me that that's not something that's actually like almost federally required. Now you saw the shock dampening Moride pin box. This also has a Moride like chuck suspension package between the tires, and that's an NPS 6000 generator, which is basically Yamaha plans that are outsourced by a third party. And that generator is capable of running anything and everything in this RV all at the same time. Something I'm realizing, I have a really cool opportunity here to really showcase the awning space that we, I don't know, do or don't have. Let's check that out. I especially like to try to showcase this anytime that there's a slide under an awning, so you can see how much space is still there. I think a lot of folks are always worried when there's a slide under an awning, it's going to eat up too much of the space, and I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just trying to showcase it so you can see what you have here. This actually has 3 power awnings with you know, all kinds of exterior patio lighting. Now, built into that you know, back of the dining desk arrangement is that outdoor entertainment center. Let me ask you, if it meant for more walk-through space in the living room, would you be willing to sacrifice that TV? I know I kind of asked that on the inside, at least I think I did. I meant to if I didn't. I don't know. I walk through these RVs and I come up with all these talking points in my head, and then I'm never sure what I've asked or not, you know. The the stabilizers being just in front and behind those tires also make them really, really sturdy. And every now and then somebody will ask me, why did they go with the folding steps in the garage? Why did they go cheap right there? Why didn't they go with the stable steps? And the answer is because you don't want a big, heavy stable step folding into the garage, potentially smashing whatever you've loaded into it. So it's for maximum loading space, effectively. And I thought it would be kind of nice to actually get a look at the rear power awning back here, not something that I always necessarily showcase. Now, in this back corner, you see a little baggage door down there. That's where your fuel station would be located. This does have dual 30-gallon fuel tanks, one dedicated to the generator, one dedicated to just other stuff if you want it. Now, if you don't care, like if you don't have a motorized toy with you and you just want maximum you know, fuel for your generator, you can always just cross pump one over to the other, but they don't cross flow themselves automatically. And again, you do have that kitchen hookup here under the slide, which is not necessarily the ideal location for these, but what you're probably going to want to do if you have on-site sewer is get yourself all hooked up first and foremost, and then remember that your gate pull valves are located here in your you know, storage compartment effectively, so you don't have to get on your hands and knees to try to get in there and open stuff up. Let's talk solar real quick on this thing. By default, this has 330 watts of solar. Yeah, okay. I touch a lot of RVs and they all like, this one's 320, that's 370. These guys are 330 standard. But they use a gauge of wiring and a hefty enough charge controller. If you want to double that and have 660 up there, you can do that. And in fact, you can do that right from the factory. I think they call it like Solar Plus or something like that. Again, every brand has their own name for this fancy solar package, where it's 2 of the 330 panels, so 660 watts, and a 2,000 watt inverter that will feed, I think, pretty much most of the household outlets. I don't think it'll kick over stuff like an air conditioner. I don't think it's hooked up to the microwave, but any of your generic household outlets, if you want to be able to run something off battery power, you can. But remember, if you're really going to be doing heavy electrical lifting when you're off-grid, you got a generator built right into this thing. Fire it up, baby. And obviously today's video ran long. Toy hauler videos almost always do. There's so much to talk about on these. So I'll leave you some links in the description. I'll wrap this up where you can check for availability and MSRP on one of these, but typically their pricing policies prevent us from actually publishing our discounted sale pricing. The good news is we don't sell for MSRP. The bad news is we just can't publish it on our website the way we would prefer to do. Other good news, we don't do hidden dealer fees. We just try to do everything else for you to make this a simpler and easier process. So when you're ready, we're ready. And thanks for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.